Hi, Kristian Harris of MonsterMortgage.ca. I am here with Marlena Corbo, one half of our Corbo Kelos VIP group that we do business with. We've been working together for, is it 20 years?
Yeah, it's been 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, 20 years. She started very young, as you can see. She's still young.
Thanks.
So, Marlena, we're at down in Leslieville in your office, Queen Street. You're in the heart of it. You're in the heart of the city here. Let's talk the real estate market. I know there's a lot to swallow there. So, there's different pocket segments, condo market, but this is kind of a weird time for 20 years you've been in this business. Like, how do you feel? Like, is this strange just to see the amount of listing and little activity happening?
It's definitely a different market. Peaks and valleys all over. There's hotter pockets and then pockets that are really, really struggling. 20 years, I've never seen anything like it. We've been on quite a bit of a run the past, I would say 18 years. And now it looks like we've dipped enough where it's the best opportunity to be a purchaser, in my experience in all these years. It's
kind of interesting that you say that, because that's one of the positives for people is people looking to get into the market or move up. Like, when was the peak? Was it 21, 22?
In between those 2 years, we've definitely seen the peak.
And you probably had people distraught, emotional, crying in this office because they couldn't land a property. They couldn't buy a property.
It was just so difficult to buy a property, emotionally draining. It was almost doomsday for any purchaser. It was, the dream would never happen.
Right.
And now we've kind of flipped the coin completely, where the dream is completely possible, especially with, the inventory that's out there, the changes in prices over the past 3 years. We're down 24% in some segments.
Yeah, I want to get into the stats in a second, but it's a good point you bring. Now, in the past, your sellers were very happy with multiples. Your buyers are upset. Now it's flipped. Your sellers may be a bit more stressed.
Yeah, it's a completely different strategy for selling and for buying. The opportunities exist. The sellers are now being educated in a different way, and purchasers are at least having the ability to negotiate, see a property 2 or 3 times, not having to make that emotional decision in a hot second or, a day. And now we're getting the opportunity to take some time into the purchase.
And what about conditions? Can they put in condition of financing?
Absolutely. Financing, status, home inspection. We're seeing most of the conditions come back to the table.
Yeah, well, which is great for buyers. Okay.
Totally.
So let's talk about, you're walking in, or you have clients come into this boardroom here who want to sell their existing property and buy a new one. Let's start with someone who's in a detached home or a semi-detached home or a townhome who want to sell that and move to their bigger dream home. What are you advising them to do in today's market? Because most people want to buy before they sell, right?
Yes.
Even though it's not advisable?
Yeah, well, we recommend not doing that, but of course, there's always strategy to coordinate a purchase and a sale, knowing that, a seller is not going to want to sell if they don't have a place to go to.
Right.
So yes, there's strategies in place. We can still coordinate the deal. The biggest thing is understanding the financial risk. I think if you're moving from a freehold to a freehold, the risk is not as large. And of course, depending on area, there's, different strategies involved. Always gives yourself a lot more time with a close, understand your financials, and have a plan B. Plan B is so important.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we have people call us who didn't have a plan B, who basically say, I bought, my agent said they could sell my condo, hasn't sold. What do you tell the people? So that same meeting, but they're in a condo and they're looking to move into a detached or into a home freehold. Right. And they say, we're seeing all these great listings come up, Marlena, we want to act on them. What do you say?
So that's a completely different conversation, Kristian. It's harder to sell the condo. We've got 8.9 months worth of inventory. There's a lot of condos out there, so the competition is fierce, and they're just sitting now. There's a bit of a buildup in inventory that way. So the conversation with that is a little different, where we would probably suggest or highly recommend selling the condo first in this case. The risk is too large in the event that they don't sell it and they don't have that financial ability to carry both.
Okay. Well, our next segment, I want to talk a little bit about stats with you. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.